Today we're going to go out on the dredge for a tour. Welch, the dredge superintendent, is going to show us what it's like to work and live on the dredge for 12 hours. We dredge the inner harbor here roughly every 10 years. The last time we dredged it was 2009, and now here we are in 2019 dredging again. Dredging is where they're making the water deeper. They're digging the mud material and removing it from the harbors. Prior to dredging, we had about, in some areas, 2 to 4 feet of water depth at low tide. After dredging, we'll have 6 to 7 feet of water depth throughout the entire inner harbor here. So it makes it deeper, and that's important because it keeps the waters navigable and safe so boats can come in and out without hitting bottom, and it also allows the boats in the mooring field to sit on their moorings without hitting the bottom. We're now on board the dredge, the FJ Bellissimo.
So right now we're in the middle of a bucket change. This is the mud bucket that we dug 99% of the job, all the mud in the harbor. We're changing over to the hard digging bucket over there, and we're going to target the sand that's over by the boat launch. We only have 200 yards of sand, so once we get that changed over, high tide, we'll go target that tonight. So that's the crane. It's a Clyde 28 crane. Does all the digging. In here, these are the controls where we run the spuds. So he controls moving the dredge, and then right here he's got cameras, and this is the actual digging, the project. And these cameras show all of our winches, all the wires, so he can keep an eye on all the components of the dredge. This is the actual project. So the dredge is right here right now. This is the dock. This is the bulkhead. The coffee shop is right up here. So we've dug everything that's green and blue is already 2 grade. This red here is what we still have to get to grade. So we have almost completed the whole job. When we came, the whole job was pink and red and brown, which is pink we have to take out 2 to 3 feet of material. Brown we had to take out 3 to 4 feet of material. So we've covered the entire footprint of the project. We just have to come clean up down here, clean up a little here, and then tonight we're going to be targeting the boat launch. It's intricate. You've got, all these little places we had to get up in here. We had to dig between pilings. So the coffee shop is right here, and then the town pier. So we had to dig on both sides of the pier within 5 feet of it, and then all these are all pilings. So the operator has this whole thing. This is the crane. So he will see the bucket come down to the depth he's looking for. There's GPS. It'll show him swinging, so he knows exactly where he is within probably 5 to 6 tenths at all times. It's pretty precise, and that's why we're able to get so close to the docks and structures without actually touching them. So the boat we came in on has a multi-beam head. So every day when we get done, that boat will come out, all the buckets that we dug for that day. So these buckets are the buckets what we dug today here. So what they'll do is they'll run lines at high tide, survey lines, and that sonar will go down, ping back. So he does this as soon as we leave, and then he loads that up on the dredge. So when we come in the next day, we know exactly what we left for bottom. We know if we were a hair deep, a hair shallow, know if we got to go back and pick something up. So every day that's updated. And then at the end of the job, the whole thing will be surveyed, and then these guys will have access to that, so they know exactly what they've got for water depth. We've got a couple other boxes up here on some stuff, and kind of see what life's like out here for 12 hours. So this is our engineer's office. These guys are the mechanics on the barge. So they've got specialty tools, kind of where they do their paperwork. We've got our barbecue. So when the weather's good, we eat pretty well.
That's important.
That's important. This is the galley, so this is where we do all the cooking, eating. We've got a full kitchen. We just had lunch and we're in the middle of the project. We actually had Wahlburgers today. And then here's the crew change room. So they just have lockers. Yeah, nothing too exciting. We spend 12 hours a day out here, so kind of gotta get your creature comforts. So we have 3 spuds. These are what hold the dredge in place. So right now this spud is on the bottom, so everything is held in place. When we move, we will pick this up, and then the tugboat will slide us into place. And once we are in our location, we'll drop the spuds and commence digging. Then we'll go below and we'll show you the kind of machinery and the inner workings of the dredge. This is our tool room. So this is where we keep all of our spare parts and our tools. And if you come around the corner, these winches here are what pick the spuds up and down. So this is kind of where this is how the dredge is moved. Those winches will pick up those spuds, will move, and then those winches will put them down. These here are 2 generators. So the dredge is powered by these 2 generators. That's what they run the spuds, all of our lights, everything like that. Down here is just a storage hold. So this is where we keep all of our oversized spare parts. And this is the bucket mat where we set the bucket down. This barge over here is called the leveling bar. So this will go through after we're all done, and we'll just kind of smooth everything out. So there's no high spots, low spots, it's all in one uniform bottom. We just changed that bucket. We hooked the wires that were on this bucket are now on that bucket. It was laying down for that operation. Now we just stood it up. Now we have to go through we have to recalibrate so we know exactly where bottom. That bucket's way taller than that bucket. We have to paint marks on it to get our depths. We have to recalibrate our whole system. This bucket can't dig sand. If there's any rock, any sand, this one's just strictly mud. It's very light duty. It has a flat lip, so it can't penetrate at all. Where that one has big teeth, real heavy, so it'll penetrate sand, rock. It'll penetrate anything. Right now, this is what the hopper would look like. Right now, it looks like a lot of water because we're actually cleaning this barge because we anticipate this being our last load. And this barge, when it gets 9 miles offshore, we have a special target, the disposal site. That tug has a GPS tracker. This is all GPS tracked. So we have set coordinates that we have to dump on those set coordinates. And this gets out there, that's a hydraulic engine. There's 2 big hydraulic cylinders on the bow and the stern. When he gets on location, he hits a button that says open. These cylinders split this barge right in half. Everything drops out the bottom. These big hinges, there's a set up there, a set back here, and those cylinders right underneath us, they split right in half, and the whole thing empties right out. It'll all hinge. So these decks we're standing on come up almost together like this. You have to hold on if you're on here because it's pretty steep angle. GPS, this is all what tracks it, and then when there's draft sensors that go down so they know exactly what is drafting when it leaves the harbor, so how much material's in it. Once it dumps, they know how much came out. Once it closes, they know it's closed. It's all recorded by computer. So this is just a diesel engine. So this diesel engine runs this hydraulic power pack. This hydraulic power pack then runs the 4 hydraulic cylinders this is the system that runs, so the tugboat has a remote. He clicks a button, these systems and that panel there will tell this to turn on. He turns it on from remote, and then he opens the remote, closes it, and then turns it off, all in remote. Well, the challenges are the tide. Like I said, some places we were digging, it was a foot of water at low tide, so we had to dig our way in. We had to work tides. So when we work tide work, we come in and work high tide, no matter what time of day. So every day we'll roll an hour. So if we start at 6 o'clock on one day, the next day we're coming in at 7 o'clock, next day 8 o'clock, pretty much roll all the way around the clock. So that can be challenging sleep-wise, and it can be challenging with the depth of the water below the barges. Once the tide starts falling, we have to start planning on getting this barge out, making sure the tugboat gets out before they lose water and go aground. So that's a major challenge every day. And as far as some highlights, pretty much Hingham. It's been great. We've been having pizza at Peel. It's good. We've had breakfast at Stars. It's good. Coffee every day. Everybody's been great. We've had nothing but great experience.
Thank you very much for the tour. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you very much for having us. It's been a good project.